All right, let's talk about Jameson Williams. So, if you're someone who doesn't quite remember who Jameson Williams is, he was a very hyped up draft prospect. He was picked 11th overall by the Detroit Lions. They thought he could be a number one wide receiver. A lot of people thought he was the number one wide receiver in that draft class. The issue, though, it was that he was coming off of an injury, and that's part of why he wasn't drafted earlier, as crazy as that sounds, because he was still picked 11th, was because of an ACL injury. People were concerned about that. And then he comes back, but isn't really able to get integrated into the offense because he just got back from injury. Then entering year 2, people were excited to see him. However, he unfortunately got suspended 6 games for gambling. So once again, kind of came back and would keep showing these flash plays here and there, but wasn't able to get fully integrated into offense either that year. But this year, he's actually able to start this season, and he was their star on offense in this game. So let's get into what happened, starting off with the play you see on the screen. It's going to be a one-on-one matchup. He's running a route that's going more over the middle, and we're going to just see his speed here, really. Goff takes the snap. You see Williams, it's not even really like, he's not doing that much with his route running, right? He's kind of just getting to his spot and then turning over so he can have the inside leverage. But what you do notice is how far off the corner who is playing Williams is right now. He's a good 2 yards further than Williams is. So because of this, when Goff throws it over the middle, I mean, you see Williams is able to get the ball pretty easily just because the corner was afraid of getting burned deep, which is not even a bad play necessarily, but it definitely did not work out. And here's also a real good positive for Williams is, as of right now, you see that, he has the ball in his hands, but again, he's so fast. Watch him kind of run by everyone else. The linebacker fell down trying to chase him. Eventually, Williams does get knocked out of bounds, but it was a really good run there by him. So, so definitely good stuff. This next play was another good one. Most of these plays are going to be good, just throwing that out there. But it's also going to show how they're going to use him. Because the Ben Johnson thing is they don't really just have their receivers go out on the outside and try and win, right? They're very creative. They like to do a lot of different stuff. They use their receivers in different ways. Here, Williams is going to be running he's going to be running the ball here. Watch as when Goff flips the ball back to him, you see right now, it's really well blocked by Detroit. I mean, you could take a drink every time you hear that when you're watching the game, and you'll be pretty drunk by the end of the first quarter. However, you do see a couple of unblocked players for the Rams, the closest unblocked players, eventually getting over to try and tackle Williams. And so you're thinking, okay, well, maybe they can make a tackle before they get to before Williams gets to the first down marker. But really, you're not thinking that, because watch, his speed blows by one of them. Eventually, someone else is able to get over and make a tackle for the Rams. But again, those plays are dangerous, and you almost wonder how many of those are going to result in touchdowns if he can break through with a couple guys, run by a couple of guys. It's just the explosiveness that he has. You can't teach it, and it's a real positive asset. This play is an interesting one. I'm going to use this angle. I think it's a better one of showing the play. He's going up one-on-one against Tre'Davious White, who, if you don't know who he is, he had some really good years with the Bills, but then tore his Achilles and just hasn't been the same guy since then, unfortunately. The Rams kind of signed him on a flyer deal this year, just hoping they can, maybe he can get back to what he once was. But the thing about Tre'Davious White, and why I think this was a curious choice by the Rams to put him on Williams, is he's never been the fastest corner, even at his best. And so, at this point, this is a weird call by them, I think. Because watch how when this play begins. First, Williams, I mean, he's on a track field at the beginning of this play, right? He's just going. He's going to make a quick move. And just this little move, I think Tre'Davious White kind of immediately realizes, oh, you're running a go route? I can't keep up with you. Watch him bail on everything, tries to tackle Williams and whiffs on it, which now gets us to this point where look at how open Williams is. It's funny, when you listen to this play, you can hear the crowd get excited at this point. They know it's happening. He's that open. Goff, of course, not going to miss that throw. Williams able to make the grab and kind of jogs into the end zone for a touchdown. Really good stuff here. And again, if you have someone who can do this, it makes you a threat on every play. And it doesn't just do more, and it doesn't just give you the yards that it gives you. It does so much more than that, because now teams have to play you a very specific way. Teams can't just say, well, okay, well, we'll just run our defense, because if you do that, well, then he's going to burn you. So you have to now put a safety over the top of Williams, or try to put a really good corner on on Williams, and then that opens up the door for other guys to get open. It's a real benefit to not just Williams and not just the deep play threats, but the entire offense. Now, we can't get into negatives. I don't know if I would really call this play a negative, but I guess it's worth talking about, I think, where it's a 3rd down and 5. His route's going to be trying to get past the first Rams player, covering kind of the middle of the field area towards the top of the screen. Goff takes the snap. He looks in Williams' direction. He fires in Williams' direction, and there's a bit of space here. To be honest, I think this is just probably not the best decision by Goff, given the fact that you're throwing on the hash marks towards the bottom of the screen. You're going to have to really get it over the defensive back who is kind of, underneath Williams right here. So I think if Williams on the other side of the field, this might be a completion. This throw is also just a touch underthrown, and also a really good defensive play to close that gap very quickly, and it almost gets intercepted. So again, when you get targeted on a play that could have been intercepted, you could certainly look at that and blame him if you want to. I think that's a pretty good route, and just maybe not the best job by Goff, but also almost a really good defensive play. That's kind of how I view it. But again, the way I view these film studies is I'm not really trying to give you my opinion so that you will have my opinion, if that makes sense. I try to give you all the information and then share my opinion and then kind of let you come to the conclusion you want to come to. So because of that, I thought if I'm making a film study on his performance, this is a play I kind of have to include. This next one is the only one I would really say was like a negative play, in my opinion, and it's still going to be a completion, where to set the stage, the Lions are currently down 3 points with 38 seconds left, so they would love to get a touchdown here and ice the game, not even have to go to overtime. Of course, as we all know, overtime went pretty well for them, but they didn't know how that was going to go before the overtime period began. It's a zone coverage concept for the Rams, and the Lions are certainly ready for it. 2 receivers are going to run kind of deep shots, hopefully clearing out this over the middle of the field area. And then Williams will run a route that's going to be kind of more over the middle. Hopefully those first 2 routes took away some Rams players, and there's a way they can get a first down here. When it begins, it's working. I mean, you see that Jameson Williams on this one is definitely open. They're able to make this throw. Like, this is a good job. Here's where the issue comes in. You got to just start running towards the first down marker here. I mean, you have a chance at the first down right here. Instead, he almost like keeps running his route after getting the ball, and you even see 26 there for the Lions kind of saying like, hey, buddy, you could have had a first down, potentially. I don't know if he would have gotten the first down. There was a Rams player coming up over to make a tackle, but just probably not the right call there by Williams. So that was his only, again, if that's your biggest negative, you had a pretty good day, right? But like I said, I want to show the positives and the negatives. Am I buying into Jameson Williams being a number 1 receiver? I don't know. Again, and by number 1 receiver, I mean like top 20 receiver in football. I think it's possible. I do legitimately think it's possible. Like, he was really good today. Am I expecting it to happen? Again, it's one game. Plenty of players have had good games, but I thought he had a really good game, and it's enough to get you excited if you're a Detroit Lions fan. So at least that's kind of how I view all of this. But yeah, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.